Tired of your car insurance rate going up, even with a clean driving record? You're not alone. That's why there's Jerry, your proactive insurance assistant. Jerry compares rates side by side from over 50 top insurers and helps you switch with ease. Jerry even tracks market rates and alerts you when it's best to shop. No spam calls, no hidden fees. Drivers who save with Jerry could save over $1,300 a year. Switch with confidence. Download the Jerry app or visit jerry.ai/Libsyn today. That's jerry.ai/LIBSYN.
Hi, what you're about to hear is a recording of the live event we did at Legit Dogs and Ice in South Elgin on May 15th, 2025. And there were 3 different music acts on the bill who performed 2 songs apiece. Aaron Williams, Karen Shook, Derision Cult. Because what you're listening to right now is an audio podcast, I can't legally, ethically, I just can't include their live performances. If you want to hear and see the performances, check them out on the Car Con Carne YouTube or Car Con Carne's Facebook page. Thank you.
It's Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
Can we all agree as we begin our journey together tonight that people who stayed home because of tornadoes and storms are pussies? It's gorgeous out now. Come on. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the new, improved, this really is a brand new facility, Legit Dogs and Ice. Isn't this place awesome? My name's James Van Alstyne, and what this is Car Con Carne. It's a podcast I do. Anyone stumble in here by accident and have no idea what's going on right now? Okay, welcome. I'm confident you'll have a good time. Thank you for being here. We're going to hang out. We're going to have music. We're going to have interviews. It'll be awesome. So thanks for being here tonight. We've got performances. We've got live comedy tonight. We've got live music. We've got interviews. We're going to be eating food because the menu here is ridiculous. I hope you don't plan on eating any time between now and Saturday if you're choosing to eat here tonight. Car Con Carne is a Q101 podcast. Anyone still listen to the radio? I worry there will come a time when I ask that question and people will look at me the way I look at my parents when they talk about Johnny Carson, like, okay, sure, it sounds great. But I'm glad you still listen to the radio. This is a Q101 podcast. I started this podcast 11 years ago, never dreaming that one day I'd be able to sit here on stage at a hot dog joint, surrounded by people who didn't pay to be here. Hold on to your dreams. They do come true. So we're here in South Elgin. South Elgin got its name all the way back in 1897. A lot of history. In addition to Legit Dogs and Ice, South Elgin, also home to the Fox River Trolley Museum. Also where former NFL wide receiver Jake Kumerow and Chicago Wolves goaltender Cale Morris went to high school. A lot of history here. And it was only 18 years ago that South Elgin was named the 82nd best place to live in America by Money Magazine. So tonight we continue to build on that proud history of South Elgin. Car Con Carne is sponsored by Easy Automation, easy-automation.net. Transform your living space with cutting-edge home automation. Experience seamless control over audio, video, lighting, climate, security, and more. Embrace the future of smart living. It's your home, your rules. Get a quote by visiting easy-automation.net or give Dan a call at 630-730-3728. Car Con Carne also brought to us by Tag Publicity. In a shocking plot twist, the sponsor is actually here tonight, drinking, eating food. Evan J. Thomas from Tag Publicity, come on up and talk to us about your business. Let's see radio do this shit where you put the sponsors on the radio. Do you need copy or can you do this from... Okay. Evan J. Thomas from Tag Publicity, proud sponsor of Car Con Carne.
What's up, everybody? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, I have to get my glasses to read this since, that's how it goes.
We're not getting any younger here.
Not at all. All right, so like you said, Evan J. Thomas, I actually run Tag Publicity now. Tag Publicity is a music and event publicity company that is freshly distinctive. Tag Publicity is a full-service entertainment, PR, talent development, branding, digital marketing, social media management. Hold on, there's more. Project management, distribution, content creators, booking, public relations company headed by me. You can reach out to me anytime for your PR needs at evanjthomaspr@gmail.com. Follow Tag Publicity on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Wow,
Thank you,
Evan J.
James.
Thomas, that's a lot of stuff you offer. Thank you.
That is a lot of stuff.
Evan J. Thomas, Tag Publicity. So this is a podcast. We're recording this. Everything we're doing right now is being recorded in audio and video. So no misbehaving. We are under his eye. Please keep it cool tonight. Because we're recording this, my goal is to get this out into the universe in a week or so you can enjoy it and tell your friends, yeah, I was there. I braved the tornado and the thunder warnings. We're also kind of winging this tonight. Like, we're kind of making this up as we go along. Could be awesome, could be a shit show. Not knowing which way it'll go is part of the fun, if you ask me. Shit show! So all my guests that you're going to see here on stage tonight are here just because they're cool. They wanted to do something fun. They're not getting paid or anything like that. So if you see something you like, if you see an artist or someone speaking that you're into, support them. Support them on social media. It doesn't cost a thing. Buy their merch. Continue to celebrate them because they're awesome, and we're really glad they're here tonight. All right. I'm going to once again remind you, we're recording this. What we're doing tonight is going to live forever on the internet. For ill or for well. So that said, when artists come up and when they perform, when they talk, make big, exaggerated sounds. Cheer for them very loudly so that it sounds like we're in the United Center and not at the corner of a strip mall in South Elgin. Cool? Cool. Our first guest tonight is an Americana singer-songwriter whose performance schedule and dance card are usually so full that it's nothing short of a gift that we have her with us tonight. It wasn't all that long ago that she gave me permission to be myself with her song, I'm Here, I'm Awkward. Please welcome Karen Shook.
Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be here tonight.
Now, Karen, I don't know if you saw this when I was watching on stage. There might have been some people having conversations, which is totally cool. You're at a bar in a restaurant, people talking a little bit under their breath as you started playing. The second you started belting out that first song, dead hush in the crowd. Like, you brought the crowd to their knees. We're like, oh shit, we're seeing something real here. That was awesome. So because we're
awesome.
at Legit Dogs and Ice, all of our guests get food. All of our guests get too much food, as is the Legit Dogs and Ice way.
Let me in, I'm starving.
This weighs more than you, this trait. So Karen Shook ordered the legit burger, no mayo, with fries. We agree. We're not mayo fans. I'm not a mayo guy.
I have some stories about mayo. No, thank you.
You also got the pork and grind, which is fries and pickle juice, topped with pulled pork, barbecue sauce, chipotle barbecue hot sauce, and slaw. So just dive in.
Am I going to eat that
talk.
with my hands?
They have silverware here, right? Isn't there silverware in South Elgin? Plasticware, that's fine. You have utensils in Elgin, right? Okay.
That's good, because I almost wore a white collar, and then I thought better of that.
Last time we did this, you were actually color coordinated with what we ate. You had avocado. You're wearing a green dress.
I try.
I
Look
guess
at me in that bun.
You're kind
I
of
look like the bun,
burger
right?
colored. So you played two songs. You played "Let the Rain" from your album.
Yeah, I love it. I love a good visual aid.
Mood Swings Part 17. We join her mood swings in progress. Let the Rain. I could stay here forever, breathing my truth and feeling good. Stick around. Stay here all night.
There's a lot of food. This is
more
going to
truth.
take at least 20 minutes.
And that song, both songs were great. Dopamine is a newish Karen Shook song. Do we agree that second song, Dopamine, was absolutely awesome? Yeah. I Choose Me, I Choose Hope. Is this about emerging from A, addiction, B, a shitty relationship?
I think they're the same, aren't they?
I think so.
Addiction and
probably.
shitty relationships. It's like it's the dopamine loop where we're just like, I'm gonna get a thing. I'm gonna get a thing. You get a thing, and then you need more of the thing. So yeah, all of that.
So again, this album, Mood Swings Part 17, you mentioned in the liner notes that you have 10 siblings.
10 siblings.
I wish you'd brought them all here to fill out the room a little bit. That would have been lovely.
I wish I would have. Most of my siblings live in like other countries, or I shouldn't say most of them in other countries, but there's not many in this area.
See, I'm an only child. I can't even understand. I can't even fathom what that's like.
It wasn't easy.
So,
I can clean a kitchen really fast, though.
so with that big religious family, all those siblings growing up, was music kind of your pathway through it all?
Yeah. My dad played guitar. My mom sang and played piano. Actually, my parents had a church, and that's like where I first started singing. And when I was 3, my mom said, "You can sing, and that's what you're going to do." So I was like, all right. I don't really like being told what to do, but I was like, okay, yeah, that works.
And to carry the religious idea one step further, we sat down last year. We talked in the car, which is where I normally do the podcast.
Time flies.
It
last
does.
year.
The way you create and perceive music, to hear you describe it, it's almost spiritual, as we're on the topic of religion.
Oh, definitely.
And to that end, I saw you talking, you're doing a private event tomorrow, which is too late for people watching or listening to the podcast, but there was a spiritual reckoning that came from that event, or heading into that event.
It's super random, but I was driving with my youngest son in the car about a month ago, and someone was stopped in the middle of the road in a neighborhood, and it seemed really odd. And so I dropped off my son where he was going, and I just felt like the Spirit told me, follow this car. So I followed the car, and the car pulled over, and an old, like, she looked to be about 85-year-old woman got out of the car and started talking to a landscaper. And I just didn't feel right, so I went over and just said, like, "Hi, are you okay? Do you need help?" She didn't know where she was. She had just moved to an assisted living community and got in her car and just started driving. Assisted living, not like she could still drive. But anyway, she didn't know where she was, and she was like 2 towns over. And so we figured out where she needed to get back to, and I called them, and I'm like, "Okay, hi, my name is Karen. Everything's fine, but there's a lady named Mary, and we're here in Bull Valley," and she told me she came from there. Anyways, long story short, I decided to give them my card because I thought they might want to know, like, if the family was like, "What the fuck did you do with our mom?" Well, hey, it's me, and I found her, and it's fine. So I'm like, "Here's my card if anything weird goes on." Anyway, so like the next morning, I got a call from the activities director there, and they're like, "We're doing an event in like a month, and we were trying to find a DJ, but then someone gave us this card," and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" Okay, so that's how I get my gigs sometimes, just following old ladies on the street, you know. That's cool though. It was fun. And I was like, that day, just like as we were driving, talking to my son about intuition and following your intuition. And there's a difference like between fear and intuition, right? Because fear is like, ah! And intuition's like, ooh, la 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 la. It's down there on the bottom, and so that's why sometimes we miss it, because it's just down there, but the fear is like, ah. So anyway.
You mentioned on stage, new album, you're working on that tentatively, called Porch Songs. Mm-hmm. Do you have a porch?
Yeah.
So that's for real, like you create porch songs?
Yeah.
Do you porch drink?
Not a lot. And the only reason is because my current porch is next to a neighbor who I don't want to drink next to.
Got it.
You know? That's why I'm going to move to the country one of these days.
All right, so KarenShook.com is where we can keep up with your many gigs, follow your progress as we work.
And also my merch. I brought you a Karen Shook pot holder.
Wait, this is for real?
Yeah.
So if you can't see this, I love this.
I care about food so much in my kitchen. So like that was my first merch, because people have T-shirts, and like I didn't have any recorded stuff yet, but I was like, pot holders, baby.
You do have
that was my dream.
So if you can't see, there's a pickup truck, a flatbed truck that says Karen Shook on the grill, and it's carrying around a gigantic cupcake. This is fantastic. Karen Shook.
That's limited edition, baby.
I love this. Okay, one final question for you, Karen Shook, as you enjoy your mountain of food. I told Matt there's no way you're going to be able to finish
I'm going to eat all that tonight.
Okay. I asked Karen before we went into this tonight, I'm like, anything you want to talk about in particular besides the obvious, besides music? And you said something to the effect of, well, I've been able to successfully avoid the law for my entire life. Like,
That's true.
explain. Like, have you had run-ins, scrapes?
Oh gosh, I've had so many run-ins. I've actually been, where did it begin? We don't have that much time, but let me just tell you that one that I was talking about. I was driving home from a gig. I was playing, I can't remember the name of the bar, somewhere in Chicago, and I don't play a lot in Chicago, but I was
Which
coming
is a
back from
crime, by the
Chicago.
way. That's a crime.
Well, I just kind of go where people invite me.
Right.
I'm lazy. It's not lazy. I'm doing what I'm doing. But anyways, it is a crime against humanity. Anyways, where was I?
Driving home.
I don't know what I don't want to be TMI, but I did do an illegal thing and I got pulled over for it. And I get pulled over and I had been, maybe there was some weed smoke around my car and it may have smelled like weed in my car, okay? So the cop pulls me over and I did do something wrong. And all of a sudden, I am pulled out of the car like, bad boys,
No way.
what you going to, like, I saw things going in a bad direction right away, and so I grabbed my cell phone and I was about to call someone who I thought could be of assistance legally at the time, and the cop grabbed my phone and threw it across my car so I couldn't touch it anymore. And after that happened, I knew I was in trouble, so I took a breath and I prayed to the angels like I always do. I'm like, angels, help me right now. Thankfully, I had not been drinking for enough hours that I knew that I was good, so I was real cocky. And I shouldn't have been, because I did have one of my nice juicy tequila drinks. Really, this was just a dream. This didn't actually happen, but I did have one of my nice juicy tequila drinks in a jar, and I had a bunch of weed that was shoved into a rubber avocado with a zipper. And so there were
Don't do
three
any
cops.
of this. Don't do any of this.
There were 3 cops that were, I was on the side of the road and I was all made up, you know, my hair was looking real nice. And my car was full of my equipment and the cops were searching my car. They had the rubber avocado in their hand, but since it was like post-COVID times, they had rubber gloves on. Maybe they always wear rubber gloves. They didn't see the zipper. And they're holding all of these things in my weed, my tequila, and they didn't even see, they were so frustrated. They were opening up my guitar case and all my things just like that. It was just like that. Anyways, why do you have these?
All right.
In conclusion, at the end of that whole process, and this went on for like 20 minutes, me on the side of the road and them looking at me, and I'm just like, I know that this is not okay. They didn't find anything, and they were upset. And because they actually roughed me up, which I didn't really mention, they grabbed me and like kind of roughed me up a little, which I was a little surprised about.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if I should talk about which town this was in, but
No,
I
wouldn't.
I did call the police department after and just mention it, and they said, like, oh, that was a training exercise. Does that make it okay? I'm not sure. I did come out unscathed. I'd like to think that it was the flower in my hair that carried
Sure.
me through that night.
Well,
I
I'm
don't
glad
know.
that as you have your country tinged music, you still bring a little bit of the outlaw to what you're doing. You keep
I'm
it
like,
real.
It's fine. You guys were keeping it real. Tonight, that was when keeping it real goes wrong. But
One more time for Karen Shook. All right, we continue with a live performance. I get nervous when Chase walks around. Okay. But he can do that. That's technology. Okay. We continue with the man who is an entrepreneur. He's a songwriter. He's a performing and recording artist, producer, and festival promoter. He's also an all-around good guy. Please welcome Aaron Williams. I do want to clarify something that happened earlier on stage before you started playing, Aaron. As Karen Shook was eating her food, I just casually whipped out rubber gloves. Here's the thing. For Legit Dogs and Ice, I want to introduce you to a new best practice. The food here is messy. Your hands are going to stink like onions and ketchup and condiments. But if you bring rubber gloves to eat here at Legit Dogs, when you're done, take off the gloves. No fuss, no muss. This is something I learned from
Genius.
This is something I learned from Louis Mendocino of Cobra Lounge. This is how he eats buffalo wings.
Nice,
And
all
yeah,
right.
when you're done, it's just you don't need to hose off. It's just okay. The gloves are gone. Karen looked at me like it wasn't natural that I just happened to have these in my pocket. It looked a little sociopathic or psychopathic. Aaron Williams.
Forward thinking.
As far as food goes, Aaron Williams ordered the legit burger with no onions, pickle, or mustard. Are you kind of a straightforward?
Yum, this is very good. Look at this. I love a good burger.
You don't like too much stuff on your food?
I don't like too much stuff like lettuce, tomato, ketchup, mayo, maybe some chipotle. Chipotle sauce. It's my jam. I like a good chipotle.
So you have an EP on the way. Mm-hmm. What's the status of that?
So I'm recording right now at Rax Track Studio. It's one of my favorite recording studios in the city. And Rick Barnes is going to be mixing this album. We have Sean McKenzie, who's going to be engineering it. I've been in the studio now for a few months and having a great time. We got 5 original songs. Very excited, James.
Including the 2 you just played?
Including the 2 I just played, You and I Can and Forgive and Let Go.
Now, based on the titles, again, You and I Can, Forgive and Let Go, these songs sound like couples therapy.
Well, You and I Can is about a road trip that you take with your lover. And it's about traveling around the country in a car with your lover. And Forgive and Let Go is literally about the times.
Wait, stop. Do people still say lover?
Yeah, I do.
Whenever I think of the Will Ferrell skit on SNL, whenever I hear someone refer to their lover.
You ruined it for us. But lover is still a very valid word.
Okay, so if you're traveling with your lover on a road trip.
It's about traveling with your lover on a road trip around the country and doing a bunch of great things that you would normally never do, but you're comfortable within the skin of your relationship to do and try anything.
So, anal?
Yeah, maybe. Okay. It's all about what you perceive and what's your goal.
Great. Okay, so that's on the way. Homegrown has kind of become what people think of reflexively when they hear your name, when they hear Aaron Williams. Homegrown, the festival that happens over at Base Camp every year. This is the Baker's Dozen 13th year.
13. Wow, I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. It's crazy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, a lot of musicians in the crowd, lots of creatives. For those who don't know, for those who are maybe watching or listening, what is Homegrown?
Yep. Homegrown Arts and Music Festival, literally an annual festival to elevate the original musicians from our Chicagoland communities. I feel like the Chicagoland music scene is completely oversaturated with cover bands. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we can't ignore the original musicians that are creating awesome art here in our scenes. And Homegrown is literally a beacon. Yes, thank you very much. We're a beacon to elevate the original musicians in our Chicagoland communities. And one thing I've learned over the 13 years, James, there is a lot of us.
There are a lot of you. Now, this happens in Lisle every year, which is out there.
Yep.
What kind of draw do you get from bands? Is it strictly regional to that area, or do you get people from all over Chicago?
We try to keep it local. The whole thing about Homegrown Arts and Music Festival is to try and keep it honed into like a 100-mile radius of the venue. We want all the people in our community, not just from the city and the suburbs, but from the Fox Valley area, south suburbs, north suburbs, to come and check out all the amazing music that's being made right here at home.
Let's go back 13 years. You create Homegrown. Was this something that was born of frustration with the music
scene? It absolutely was. I was submitting music to perform outdoor festivals in my local music community and in the city. Just got rejected left and right, James. I took it personally at first.
Sure.
But come to realize it was original musicians that was getting snubbed from these events. Booking agents have lost faith in original musicians here in the Chicago suburbs. And so have venues. And it is my job to tell them they are wrong.
Excellent. So the Baker's Dozen Homegrown, the event is July 26th. You already have your headliner locked.
Yeah, we got a great headliner, the Pino Farina Band. In my opinion, one of the biggest local music bands in the suburbs right now. That band has made an amazing name for themselves by doing live music streams and playing at one of the greatest venues all in the Chicago suburbs. They have original music, and I can't wait for them to do a full set of original music at Homegrown this year.
When does the lineup get announced?
I'm sorry?
When does the lineup get announced?
So we're going to announce it on Saturday. Tomorrow is our soft launch. We're going to put the tickets on sale. We're going to launch our event page, some of our headliners, and then between 8 a.m. and noon this Saturday, we're going to have 150 musicians, artists, and people who support local music announcing the lineup for this year's festival. We have 30 acts, 20 bands, and 10 acoustic artists. I'm really excited.
That's amazing. And for those who are watching or listening, the lineup is already out there for you to peruse. Were there any surprises in the submissions this year? Like, oh my, like there have to be. That's why you keep doing it, right? You find something in the submission pile, like, oh my God, this is.
The submissions are overwhelming every year. After doing this for 13 years, you think you know everybody. We were talking about this last year. But every single year through the submissions, so many great musicians come through the woodwork. Just like Blue and Jackie Carroll and Angus over here that came here and support me today.
Oh.
They won the Road to Homegrown at the Crooked Arm earlier this week. Thank you for your support today. We want to elevate original musicians, and we want you all to support. What makes success is support from our community. Support these musicians.
It's so easy to do. And if I said this at the beginning of the night, if you're not going to pay to see music, supporting people on social media is so easy to do. It doesn't cost you a thing. Like their music, share their stuff. Just help local music, independent musicians get out there. I love what you're doing, Aaron.
Thank you very much, James.
Awesome. All right, Homegrown's on the way, EP on the way. Please, another hand for Aaron Williams.
Go to homegrownartsandmusicfestival.com. Thank you very much, James. I appreciate you.
Of course. So, we have a special guest in the crowd tonight, and when she walked in tonight, she probably didn't imagine that I'd be doing this, but I'm going to bring her on stage. Please welcome Deanna from Sincere Engineer, who's in the house. That's the thing about Legit Dogs and Ice. You throw an event and suddenly, my God, Deanna from Sincere Engineers just sitting in the corner enjoying a cold beverage. Deanna, she's here.
Hello.
You're actually playing here soon, aren't you?
Yeah, in July. Can I move this? I'm sorry.
You do whatever makes you happy.
Cut this part. Never mind, I'm not going to move it. Okay.
I have no notes for you. But we've done this before.
Okay, cool, I'm ready.
All right, so the most recent thing, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the most recent thing from the world of Sincere Engineer, you created and directed and released a documentary on 10 years of Sincere Engineer.
Yeah. Thank you.
And the reason why is in the title, but maybe explain why you decided to do this.
Okay, so there's like a little story with it. I called it Nobody's Gonna Do It For You. Because one time I was at like a party when I came back from my first tour, and this kid was like, man, if I ever get the call to go on tour, I'd have to quit my job and go. And I was like, that always stuck with me, that like you could just do that. Like there's actionable steps to make that happen. And it was like this concept of like nobody's gonna like, you're not gonna get a call, be like, it's time to go, pack your bags. So I don't know, that concept always stuck with me. And when it came to making the documentary for like celebrating the 10-year anniversary, I was like, no one's gonna call me and be like, it's time to make your documentary, bring all your stuff. So I was like, I gotta do it myself. And then if you watch it, you'll see that there was actually like a whole village of people that made the band what it is today. And it was like a way to highlight them and let them tell their side of the story, and as a way to thank them and the fans for the last 10 years. I talk with my hands a ton.
I do the same thing.
I could be doing it down here, but I'm doing it up here.
I try to keep them down here.
I look like crazy.
I feel like I'm more expressive if I do this.
Well, we did like some showings at the Metro, and I like had to go up and introduce it in front of a screen, and I was like, and then this. So all the pictures from that night, I look like I'm doing karate.
So, I mean, looking back on your 10 years as you went through the footage and the interviews, what do you think about? Well,
that was another thing. I was like, I'm like so thankful. Like some of my best friends like collected footage from my first show, and like
there you were in the Fireside Bowl. I couldn't believe that footage existed.
I know it. It's like I'm like so thankful. There were people in my life that thought, to take a video of it, to have a memory of it, and like nobody, me or anybody, knew what was gonna like come of it. So that was it was just like I collected all this footage for 10 years, and it was like, there's some people that might want to see it. I don't know. That's why I made it for free on YouTube. It's like, it's there if you want it. If not, no big deal.
That's such a Midwestern thing. No, it's cool if you're not into it. I get it. It's fine. Sorry I asked you.
Totally.
But as you look back on 10 years, some musicians get to this point, they're like, oh my God, it feels like it was only yesterday. Others are like, oh my God, I feel like I've been doing this forever.
Yeah.
Where are you?
It depends on the day, for sure. It went by so fast. It's like crazy.
And it feels like the past couple of years especially have been nothing but upward trajectory. Like, kind of, you don't have time to put the brakes on things.
For sure, yeah. It feels like, we're not busy, and I'm like, holy shit, what's happening? And then we're really busy, and I'm like, oh my God, I need to sleep. So it really just depends on the day, you know?
As someone who is still learning how to use video editing and all that, you did all that yourself?
Yeah.
Is that something you're into, or did you force yourself to learn it?
I'm like mildly interested. I made all our music videos and stuff, so I had like some. I use iMovie on the phone. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people have complimented the editing, but it was really like my bandmates answering the questions so nicely, and it actually happened, so it all fit in like the storyline, and it was really easy. So it's almost like it actually happened, you know?
I love it. All right, so that's on YouTube. You can watch it. It is absolutely free. We're in the middle of 2025. What's the rest of the year look like for Sincere Engineer?
We're waiting to hear about like some stuff in the summer. I'm going to Europe solo in October with Kali Masi, local Chicago people also. And I'm like trying to finish up working on the next record, like writing it, so yeah.
I love it. Thumbs up. Just to punctuate her point, Deanna always gives the thumbs up.
Hell yeah.
We love her. We love her band. Deanna
Thank
from
you
Sincere
all.
Engineer, everybody.
Thank you, Legit Dogs. Big fan. Hell yeah.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
She's just here. Deanna from Sincere Engineer. All right, so our next guest is a very funny stand-up comedian. And when I asked him, because I spent a career in radio, I'm always neurotic and nervous about mispronouncing people's names. So I emailed him. I'm like, dude, I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. He wrote, my last name is pronounced Bon as in bonfire, and Gat as in Gatling. No worries if you mispronounce it. It's a foreign last name, and I'm super American, so I'm not even sure I get it right. Please welcome Chris Bongat.
Legit Dogs Nice. How you guys doing tonight? Doing all right. Give it up for Legit Dogs and James for putting this whole thing on. Give it up for yourselves for supporting the arts. Hell yeah. Though the art part of the show stops right now. My name is Chris Bongat. If you don't recognize that name, that makes sense. I'm a low-level comedian. Most of the people that know my name are bill collectors, so that's kind of where I'm at. That's great. I'm also very painfully aware that most people are here not to see me, which is fine. I'm used to it. My parents, they had me when they were 16 years old. They were in high school when they became parents, which means that you guys are not the first people to not know I was going to be here. Caught that mid-joke. Joke wasn't that great, but I caught it. Hell yeah. My parents are Asian. I'm Asian, if you're doing the math. But they're divorced and remarried, so my stepdad is black, and my stepmom is white. So when people take a picture of us, we look like a college brochure and shit. You know, people are like, that broken home is very progressive. Really paving the way for other broken homes, you know? That's fun. Before I did stand-up comedy, I used to do a lot of volunteer work, actually. One of the things I used to do, I used to give sponge baths to the elderly. I used to do that. Thank you. Just doing God's work, you know. It was at this nursing home in Bentonville. I used to help the senior citizens undress. I would help lower them into the tubs, and I would wash their naked bodies for them. And I did that for about 2 to 3 years before they caught me. I guess you're supposed to apply first or something. I don't know. A lot of weird red tape with it. I did this. I stopped eating at the Burger King by my house, and I had to stop eating there because they told me that they fired a woman because they caught her peeing on the hamburger meat and serving it to customers. Yeah. So I had to start eating at the Burger King like 2 towns away because I heard that she works there now. It's hard to meet people is what I'm saying. It's hard to meet people. People make dating a lot harder than it has to be. I don't know. People have weird expectations. For some reason, people really like a bad boy, and I'm the opposite of one of those. You know, I look like what shows like NCIS thinks a hacker looks like. Not getting a whole lot of hacker poon, you know what I'm saying? Still, women will try to flirt with me sometimes for this joke. And they'll be like, Chris, tell me about yourself. Are you a bad boy? Are you dangerous? And I'm like, well, I'm 5'5", so I'm in constant danger. Pretty much all the time. 5'5", it's not super tall. I'm not self-conscious about it, but at the same time, I probably shouldn't get too cocky, like around a hawk. You know? I saw them eyeing me in the parking lot. I was like, I better get inside. You know? I think about animals a lot because I watch Animal Planet like every night because things are going pretty good. You know? It's cool. You get to learn a lot of cool things about animals you didn't know. For example, did you guys know that if you take a starfish and rip off one of its legs, you're an asshole? You didn't know that? That's messed up. That's crazy. I saw this documentary on Netflix, or an Animal Planet, about this guy who injects himself with rattlesnake venom. Every day. He injects himself with a little bit of rattlesnake venom, just a little bit every day, because he believes eventually he will develop an immunity to rattlesnakes. Yeah, I don't know if it's working, but it seems like he's having fun, so just let him have it, you know? But I hope it does work, because that means this whole time I've been slowly but surely developing an immunity to cocaine snakes. I do just a little bit every day. If you're nice to me, we could split an 8-ball of snakes. That's fun. Anyone here ever have a one-night stand? No? Good. I was just checking to see who's going to heaven. I'll see you there. That guy raised his hand. Pretty ballsy to do it while you're here with someone. That's the one-night stand? When did it start? 3 minutes ago? What, did you really have a one-night stand before? Wait, what is happening right now? A long time ago. Was it her? Okay. Sometimes there's like a weird success story in there. And I gotta dig it out. But also, usually I preface that joke by saying, like, if you're in a couple, don't say anything. All right? When fights break out between couples, it ruins the show. But that's cool. She seems really cool. I can see why you moved on. That's great. I had a one-night stand with a woman who was on her period, because I'm a grown-ass man. And she tricked me. She tricked me. That was the main reason, honestly. I didn't even know she was on her period till 2 days after the one-night stand. And you're wondering, Chris, how did you not notice during? Well, let me tell you, since I have a microphone. When you first put your hands down there, do it differently than I did it. When you first put your hands down there and you feel something wet, your first thought isn't, oh no, she's on her period. Your first thought is, I'm fucking crushing this right now. But that's not what was happening. 2 days later, I'm doing laundry. I lift up my pillow, and underneath my pillow is a used tampon. Yeah. That's what I said. Oh, God, woo! No, I guess she took it out so I wouldn't notice, which super worked. And then she put it under my pillow, but she forgot to take it the next day. So I slept with a used tampon under my head for 2 days. You think you have weird dreams? You know? At least I'm just assuming that she meant to take it. Maybe she left it there on purpose. You know, some kind of weird lady magic trick, you know? Like, nothing in my vagina, but check behind your ear. Why am I double fisting microphones right now? That's super weird. It's for my other side job. No. The worst part about that one night stand is I thought that one night stands were supposed to be no strings attached. Yeah, I did that at a restaurant. All right, you guys have a good night. You've been great.
I'm really uncomfortable after that. Nice job, Chris. The ending with the tampon tooth fairy story is a really...
Unfortunately, that is the only joke that's real. Oh, I did used to volunteer at an old folks home, but I played piano. I wasn't allowed to touch them.
The wonderful thing about watching you do stand-up, you let things hang there for maybe a half step too long.
Oh, yeah. I'll sit in it for a while.
Yeah. And everyone has to kind of live with it for a little bit. It's kind of magical what you do there.
I learned earlier on that, like, if you say your jokes too fast, sometimes people just don't have the time to get it. So if you sit on it, at the very least, they will awkward laugh at you. And that's where I kind of live. I like that, too.
Since we are at Legit Dogs and Ice, Chris Bongat tonight is going to enjoy the Polska, a giant Polish sausage with Polish sweet kraut with carrots, sweet onion, and bacon. 3 pierogi.
Hell yeah.
That's on top of the Polish.
Yeah.
It's a pierogi and a hot dog. It's also topped with brown and yellow mustard and more bacon. Nice knowing you, dude. And I say that knowing that I think at the same time I'm going to enjoy something lovingly called the Widowmaker, which is two double Angus beef smash patties, homemade chili, homemade mac and cheese sauce, and bacon on brioche. So I went for my first physical in like 2 years. My blood pressure's already high. This is a poor move. I'm not even kidding. This is a poor move on my part. So how long have you been doing comedy?
About 8 years now.
8 years.
Yeah.
You started as a musician, right?
Yes, I was a musician since I was a teenager, and I transitioned to comedy. After that dream died, and we'll just see how long this dream rides. And then after that, I'll get a unicycle or something. I don't know.
I was going to say, were you too successful as a musician, so you thought I'm going to try being a stand-up comic?
You know what it was? Is I got tired of carrying a fucking amp. I'm almost 40 now, and the days of me carrying a 200-pound amp up a tiny set of stairs are over. I'm done with that. As a comedian, all you have to do is, the only equipment you need is a microphone, and they better have that when I get there.
Yeah, you just show up. I mean,
right. And you don't have to split any of your beer tickets with 5 other dudes.
Right.
You don't have to worry about everyone else's schedule. It's liberating. I say do music when you're younger, and then when your back starts to hurt, just start going into comedy.
All right, I want you to try the Polska. I'm going to ask you the question, and please don't feel weird. Do you want rubber gloves?
No, I actually thought it was very odd that you had those.
It is, but you're going to get messy.
That's okay. Life is messy. There's a fucking tampon on here. Joke's on you, I'm eating that part first. There's shit on it. Why is it so... Is that peanut butter? That better be peanut butter. All right. I won't. I like this place.
All right, so I'm going to have the Widowmaker. I do want to ask, we talked with Carson from Obscurity Brewing about the communal nature of that scene, about all the craft brewers, that everyone kind of knows each other, they all kind of communicate. I suspect, or I perceive, that the comedy scene is much different and much more kind of petty and snipey.
It can be, but honestly, when I first started, it was super welcoming. And if you're interested in doing stand-up comedy, I say do it. Just tell everyone you're new, and they'll be nice to you. It's fine. But yeah, you get when you start getting a little gatekeepy, it's whatever. But just find your clique, you'll be fine.
What does gatekeeping look like in comedy?
It's more like it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to notice. Like you just realize that certain people don't get booked at a lot of places, and they'll do the same rotation of people, which I get it. If you were higher up, wouldn't you just book your friends? So it's hard to be mad at that. So it's fine. And in bands culture, like playing in bands for my whole life, it was like that too. In every art form, there's going to be a little bit of that. But if you're good, you'll be fine.
All right, before you take a bite, can you hand me a napkin? Thank you. He made fun of the gloves.
You have gloves and a napkin.
Do you see this? It's like...
This guy needs a helmet.
It's 3 entrees on a pun. You want to take a bite?
Yeah, let's take a bite.
Okay. Of the Polska? Yeah. The human jaw is not meant to do this. And yet, look at that.
Hell yeah.
So I know this is kind of a unique or different room. You're playing a hot dog joint. But surely this can't be the weirdest or most unique place you've done comedy.
No, it's like a tie. I did a stand-up at a preschool, which sucked. Then I did stand-up in a sex dungeon, which also sucked.
Wait, stand-up at a sex club?
Yeah.
Who wants that?
I got booked by a bunch of swingers. So I do, in my normal set, I do a lot of sex jokes. And I got approached by like 300 swingers to do their party, which is super weird. But then I got booked at the sex dungeon after that. And then I was just like, I got to stop doing all this weird stuff. But yeah, they were super nice. There's a huge swinger community in Illinois that's like super secret, I guess. But I'm on their mailing list.
Wow, they should have put an upside-down pineapple on top of your Polska.
Yes, upside-down pineapple is one of the things they do. Also, if you see a bunch of like older folks with a bunch of wristbands in like a Bar Louie, those are swingers. I didn't know that. I just walk past those people all the time until I didn't know.
We've learned so much from you tonight. Okay, looking ahead, I walked in the door tonight, Chris. Your face is on the door here at Legit Dogs Nice. You'll be back here on stage.
Yes. Through some weird scheduling error, I am also here again next week. So if you see me tonight and then next week, I think you think this is the only thing I do. But I do other stuff.
There are worse places to show up on a weekly basis.
No, at least the food's good here. So.
That's right. All right, so beyond the next show at Legit Dogs Nice, what's left for you for 2025?
Honestly, I'm kind of in the middle of coding a video game right now. So,
Really?
Yeah. I got super into video game coding over the past year.
Wait, this is the guy who joked about being typecast as a hacker.
Yes, I did make that joke, but I also do code a little bit.
Okay. Write what you know. All right. Chris Bongat, everybody. Very funny guy.
Thank you.
Our next guest is the proprietor and head brewer / mead maker at Please, you should.
Do you want those rubber gloves?
Yeah, I'll save the gloves for later. He is the proprietor and head brewer / mead maker at Obscurity Brewing and Craft Mead, 113 West North Street in Elgin. Please welcome Carson Souza. What are you drinking?
Vanilla Doom.
Let's start there. Let's start with the drinks. Let's start with Obscurity Brewing and Craft Mead. Let's start with mead. Does everyone know what mead is? Here's what I know about mead. Here's what I knew about mead before really getting into this. It's what Thor drinks in the Marvel comic books. Like when he and Hercules have arm wrestling matches, they drink mead. That's my baseline understanding of what mead is. What is mead? It's honey, right? It's
Honey water.
Honey water.
Honey wine.
Honey wine.
We got honey, wine, honey, water, and yeast.
And it just ferments and becomes something wonderful?
Yeah, once you pitch the yeast, or we call it pitching, add the yeast, that's when the magic starts. So honey is a complex sugar. Once you start adding yeast to it, starts eating all that sugar, creates CO2 and alcohol.
When did you discover that you were into mead so much so that you wanted to make it part of your career?
Oh, it's a great question. I'm a commercial brewer by start, so 20 years in the game now. Once I have like 6 partners, and one of them was like, "Hey, what do you think about mead?" And I'm like, "That shit sucks." I was like, no joke. Then I started dialing into what makes mead suck and why does it suck. And anyone who drinks mead might know that. I started looking at like what was happening, and there was a lot of like mutations with yeast. So I started to think on a commercial level, like, why is this way? And then I started to think about the fundamentals of what the yeast were doing and why they were doing it. So then I started kind of digging in and understanding why this is going on.
So as people are sitting here at the bar at tables, they're ordering drinks, what obscurity beverage should they be ordering from Legit Dogs Nice tonight?
Tonight, I believe that the Vanilla Doom is on. This is my beer. Little fun story about Vanilla Doom. I started another brewery in 2012, and I used to live in Boston, and I created that beer, and it kind of created a big headway. And that's called the Southie Bitch Slap, or Vanilla Bitch Slap. You guys might have heard that beer before. And what Bitch Slap constitutes is like going and drinking all night and fighting in the street. I wouldn't say it's a very positive thing, but at that point that I created this beer that was like a headway, I wanted to create something that was equally as good after I left that brand and started to open Obscurity. And what I did is I created a far superior beer, Vanilla Doom. It's caramel 80 malt, Vienna Red X for all you brewers out there, and a Bravo American hop. And it's blended with our proprietary blend of vanilla that we have directly created for us. So.
In Elburn, there is the main, the brew pub, and then you've got the Mead Hall and Cidery on 21 South Main.
That's accurate, yeah. We have two different locations. We have the Mead Hall, which is on the other side of 47. That's where we produce mead and cider. And then in the brewery, we have world-class barbecue. I mean, a culinary experience like these guys. And also great beer.
So I think as a group tonight, we can commit to drinking more of your products and going to visit you in Elburn. Thank you very much for doing that. Carson.
Thank you so much. Let's give it up to Legit Dogs. I do want to take this one bite of the ombre. Everyone said that it's fucking dynamite, and I wanted to try it.
Do you want rubber gloves?
Yeah, no.
There it is. That's how it's done. Now we begin the final part of our journey together this evening. I promised you that things would get louder as we head into the twilight, and they will, because my next guest is right here. It is Derision Cult. Derision Cult is the brainchild of Sonic Svengali, Dave McAnally. McAnally,
yeah, it's the Irish version.
The band is a self-described rogue sound squad that weaponizes music against society's sensory overload and media manipulation for corporate greed. Also, Chicago industrial metal for psychos, charlatans, and the age of regression, which is now. You are here, age of regression.
Yeah.
If you're looking on the map.
Feels South Elgin or just...
Just this point in history, let's say. All right, so Derision Cult tonight is going to be sharing Gouts of Flame and Nuclear Fries, or if you prefer, Nuclear.
We should start a band called the Gouts of Flame.
The Gouts of Flame.
So, all right, who all do we have? We have Dave, the Sonic Svengali. Who else is here?
Sonic, well, we have me, Sean Payne, Jesse Hunt, and Brad Houston, who also are in Chicago industrial. Not to play you up, but major Chicago industrial band Cyanotic, and we're all on Glitch Mode Recordings.
So Derision Cult started 10 years ago?
Yeah, they're about, yeah.
Share with us the origin story. Take us back. Favor us with the tale.
Yeah, so, well, for me, I grew up in Iowa and was in the metal scene there.
Wait, where in Iowa?
Waterloo, actually.
Okay.
So, funny enough, I grew up, we used to buy pot from Corey Taylor's mom, which I shouldn't be saying that on a podcast, but so from Waterloo, he moved on, but myself, another major player here in Chicago, Dan Milligan, Ayatoya, and John Wayne Gacy all came from Waterloo to Chicago, so some of us fared better than others, but yeah, that's right. And then so when I moved to Chicago, I took like 12 years away from music, just working on just career stuff, got big into Ironmans and triathlons and stuff, and got back into it about, like you said, 10 years ago. And about
Wait, you've done Ironman and triathlon stuff?
Yeah, I borderline pro card for Ironman, but
so
then I started coming to places like Legit Dogs, and I don't have an Ironman body anymore.
But I still think it's probably safe to say, looking at this crowd right now, you could probably kick all of our asses.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, not
about
at the same
that.
time, perhaps?
These guys are pretty tall, big, man.
Yeah, but we have no
All right, so these are the aforementioned Gouts of Flame.
I'm sorry, guys.
And Nuclear Fries. Look at
I
that.
ordered the crazy
The
hot
Nuclear
shit.
Fries.
Oh,
Look
my
at
Lord.
this thing.
You're going to need a fork and knife. All right, so 10 years ago, Sean Payne, producer, part of this project.
Yes, so we connected about 5 years ago, Sean and I did. I was just looking for someone to help with, just drum production and stuff. And it's just kind of been, we've done a couple albums together, a couple side projects. Derision Cult's also kind of been a cool collaboration vehicle. On Mercenary Notes Part 2, Reeves Gabrels from The Cure and David Bowie's band plays.
Let's not gloss over that because I want to get into that. That's to me, that's the proverbial BFD. But Mercenary Notes Part 2 is the new album.
That's right.
When I listen to Derision Cult, when I hear you, I think, well, yeah, that's what industrial music sounds like. That's like, if you wondered what that genre was like, just put on one of those albums. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, well, thanks. I think all of us are really, really proud of Chicago industrial and the sound. We're all big fans of the old Wax Trax stuff.
It used to be cool.
And but no, we wear that on our. I think everyone here wears that on their sleeve.
Remember 1990?
All right. You mentioned Reeves Gabrels. Reeves Gabrels, he was on all of David Bowie's stuff in the 90s. Tin Machine before that. He's a member of The Cure. How do you, Derision Cult, make that connection with this really incredibly well-known and well-traveled guitarist?
Well, he still kind of crazy that it worked out the way it did, but as crazy as it sounds, just reached out and emailed him and was like, man, you're an awesome guitar player. We got some tracks. Did you play on them? And, that was during the height of COVID, so, it was just hard for me.
Literally, you just tracked down Reeves Gabrels and said, do you want to work
That's right.
It's that easy.
Oddly enough, yeah, we're kind of the Forrest Gump of industrial here. But,
well, as the kids say, Dave, shoot your shot, and you did.
But
I'm the mentally challenged one.
But for real, that's, I was a big fan of his solo music, obviously, all the industrial things with David Bowie. I did actually interact with him a little bit through just being a fan, like, when he was doing his solo stuff, which was a lot more low profile. So I think maybe, kind of remember me from that. But Reeves has done a lot with the Chicago scene. So he recorded on a Sister Machine Gun album in 97, Metropolis, and that was fantastic, and we have some connections there. In fact, Brad's playing Chris Randall's Parker tonight from Sister Machine Gun. And we also had Chris Connolly on that album, on a track with Reeves, and Chris and Reeves were supposed to do they were going to collaborate in the late 90s, and it never happened, and we were fortuitous enough to bring those guys together on a track. So
that was Deaf Blood?
Deaf Blood, yeah. We made a crazy animated video for that where we turned Chris into like a crazy kind of drug czar guy.
Well, let's talk about crazy animated videos. Specifically from the new album, we have Warning Signs.
Yeah.
Which is Mad Max meets the Terminator meets RoboCop meets Westworld.
That's right. Yeah, we had a lot of fun making that. It's making animated videos, it's like 2 seconds at a time.
Yeah.
Like, we got a little bit here, and the whole inspiration started from Bill Paxton had a band in the 80s and called Martini Ranch, and they made this, and we wanted to make a piss take of that video, so we did, but then we added in all our crazy Mad Max references, and we have the Terminator and RoboCop fall in love, and as you do.
As you do. So I've seen the wrath of living under the gun. I've seen the end of what we've begun. Not to be too fatalistic, but this goes back to this point in time on the map that we're at right now, yes?
Yeah.
You're not an optimist, perhaps.
In that one. Well, the track was about, I spent a lot of years as a kind of ad exec for a big agencies globally, so I spent a lot of time building campaigns to quite legitimately manipulate people and kind of use negative energy to create positives. And there's a saying, enragement equals engagement. And so the first Mercenary album, I had a lot of things I wanted to say about my experiences in that. So that's what fueled a lot of our crazy ChatGPT descriptions there. But I think the things that I saw happening, Warning Signs was kind of a continuation, or, hey, there's a lot of things that we need to be watching out for. And, the chorus of that, is it getting real enough for you yet? Guy could kick my ass. So my brother was a Navy SEAL in Afghanistan and Iraq.
Jesus. Okay.
And he did 5 deployments there. And a producer who I'm not going to name, but somehow was able to go for a ride along with them when they're busting up a Taliban house in Afghanistan. And they end up getting to a big firefight with these guys. And so this producer, it's just like a crime scene here in the U.S. after they have one of these raids. And the SEALs have gotten to a gunfight with all these guys. So there's bodies everywhere. And this producer did make a big movie that came out later about this stuff, but wanted to see the real thing up close. And one of my brother's co-workers, the guy they were there to arrest, they end up having to shoot in the face at close range with a .50 caliber, and which I'm told is a pretty gnarly scene.
Yeah, it can't be good
to a person, and it's a lot like that. But brings this corpse down and puts it on a table where this producer is, and they were kind of pissed that he was there. So he said, "Is it getting real enough for you yet?" And
jeez.
Producer looked at it, ran outside, and started puking.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
I thought, man, I got to use that line in a song someday, and here we are.
Another new song, which I think you're going to do, correct me if I'm wrong, Radiation Blues.
Yeah.
Okay. You do that gritty spoken word thing on this that I absolutely love. It's kind of like industrial country vibes.
It's my industrial Tom Waits.
That's what it is, yes.
And we're all huge Tom Waits fans, so whether these boys like it or not.
All right, so you have big burgers to eat when you're done performing.
I give it a ride home, maybe.
Before we clear the tables and have you play, more music on the way from Derision Cult?
Yeah. Well, we're working on some stuff right now, and in fact, I mentioned Cyanotic. These guys have that project from Glitch Mode 2, and the Side Effect is coming very shortly, so we have that. And we haven't really talked about this yet, but we'll be playing kind of a Glitch Mode collective up in Milwaukee on August 23rd.
That's gonna be fun.
At the Crocodiles, so Crocodile, right? Yeah. So anyways, look for stuff on that. But yeah, you can check us out on DerisionCult.com and all over the socials. And excited to play some of these and conquer these burgers, man.
Awesome. One more time for Derision Cult. They're going to be playing in mere minutes right here on stage. Thanks, guys. We wanted to wrap up the night with an evening of gentle pop songs so you can go to sleep easily. But we had Derision Cult play instead, and that was amazing. We're at the end of our journey together. Thank you for being here tonight. I know that when you got here, or as you were driving here, you're probably worrying about thunderstorms or tornadoes. They didn't happen. It paid off. I hope you had a good time tonight.
Hey, did you guys hear anything?
I want to quickly again thank everyone who joined me on stage tonight. Karen Shook. Carson from Obscurity Brewing. Aaron Williams. Deanna Bellows from Sincere Engineer. Chris Bongat. And then Derision Cult. So if this were a regular podcast schedule, this would be 6 different episodes. This is all those episodes in one. You got them here tonight in one big session. This will be released in the next week or 2. I try to move quickly on these things, so if you want to relive the memories or let your friends know you fucked up, you missed a great time, you can share the episode then. Quick thanks to Legit Dogs and Ice for the hospitality, for giving us this awesome playroom to eat and listen to music. Matt and Jennifer specifically. Kurt Harrison, Pet Mino, Chris Heileman, Chase, James Cantrell, thanks to them. And thanks again to you. I know it's a school night. I know that Thursday is kind of the new Friday, but still, it's a school night. Thanks for hanging out late tonight. And again, if you liked anything you saw tonight, whether it's a musician, or maybe it's Chris's comedy, or you like Obscurity Brewing, support them online. Tell people about it. That's how this whole DIY independent scene works. So have another drink, hang out, keep the legit registers ringing. And if you're new to Car Con Carne, or if you've been with me for a while, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Have a good night.